Next up, we have a one-on-one. I can see him rolling around the back there. One of my colleagues from TRT World, Zia Eshanzadeh, will give a talk on the humanitarian perspective in international journalism. Zia.
Thank you, man. It's going to be alone.
I know. I'm sorry, just another programming note. You can see my boss's face on the wall there. I should have mentioned him. Mr. Serdar Karagöz has had a family emergency, so very unfortunately will not be able to join us for this session. Zia will be in his stead and will do a sterling job. So please, again, welcome to the stage, Zia.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be with you this morning. Thank you very much for coming out. I see there's a bit of a rain outside, but that didn't stop anybody here, so thank you for coming. And I want to thank Dr. Kenik for this wonderful conference, beautiful colors, beautiful arrangement, and hosting us so graciously. I also want to thank Kizilay, the Red Crescent of Turkey, for wonderful work they've done throughout the years. To thank them properly, I'd like to share a story, a personal story, that is very dear and near to my heart. Some of my colleagues may or may not know this about me. But if you guys all recall, in 1979, there was an attempt invasion of the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. And I am a product of that war. In 1979, when they came to Afghanistan, many were forced to leave their country because of the war. In 1985, I'm totally dating myself now, 1985, I was 7, along with my 8-year-old sister. Alone, we walked through the terrain of Afghanistan with a guide who was an older gentleman, and myself, age 7, my sister, age 8, walked across Afghanistan to Pakistan, and we became refugees. My parents could not be with us because they were afraid they would find us, meaning the government. So we became refugees. And one of the first things we saw, and they were told that they will help you, was this sign right here. They said, this sign, whenever you see these beautiful trucks with this sign, they were there to help you. So thank you for helping me, Kizilay. Thank you, Dr. Tenek. So fast forward a few years later, after living most of my life in Los Angeles, sunny California, I'm here in this beautiful city of Istanbul, working at TRT World, namely leading a very important initiative that I believe every media organization should have, and that is TRT World Citizen, a humanitarian, philanthropic arm of TRT and TRT World. What we do is we believe the marriage of humanitarian and NGOs and media are natural, completely natural, because we have journalists, correspondents all over the world, and they are the first responders. Should anything happen, whether it's man-made or a natural disaster, we have people on the ground working, trying to find ways, trying to shed light, trying to bring attention to that area, whether small or big, whether it's an invasion in a part of the world, whether it's Syria, whether it's Yemen, the people are suffering one of the worst crises and with the famine, or whether it is in Mexico border and with the U.S. People, a caravan as they call it, marching through their country. So we believe that because we have these wonderful journalists and correspondents on the ground, they are the witnesses. And the aim and the core of our work at TRT is we put human in the heart of the story. It is not just statistics. It is not just a number. So many people died in this conflict. So many people died in this natural disasters, in this earthquake and in that flood. But human being lost, little boys, children, men, women, losing their lives, their limbs. So we want to bring real attention to real humanity crisis. Therefore, we want to be a facilitator for NGOs, for organizations like Kizilay and Red Cross, Red Crescent, and others, that they come and we work together, find solutions together, because we are more than just a number. As I said my own story, I am a living witness of this. We have inspiration, aspiration, we have feelings, we have culture, we have life. A lot of times, unfortunately, some organizations, nonprofits, I've been a part of it myself, that we want to see them, we want to help them, we want to, these poor people, these unfortunate people. But the reality is that they're real people with culture, they're the people who laugh, who enjoy life, who feel happiness, sickness, sadness. They have dances, they have foods, they have cuisines. But we reduce them, unfortunately, because of the fast world that we live in, to just numbers and statistics. Therefore, TRT World Citizen exists. We want to give him more than just a number. We want to give him a real picture. Because TRT is blessed with such a wide range of journalists, correspondents, media throughout the world, we have this upper hand, if you will, that we can contribute. So that's why we believe this is an important step that every media organization should take, and we want to be the forefront. We are one of its kind. We are unprecedented. When I was first heard about this initiative, and I was in California, and I was contacted that if I wanted to join, I couldn't understand it first. Then later on, after having a few conversations with the executives, I understood why this is so important, and I immediately jumped on it. Of course, living in Istanbul also has its own appeal, but beyond that. So it is very important. Not only that, TRT World Citizen recognizes the less known, if you will, humanitarians who are working hard on the ground by celebrating their work, providing them or giving them a platform where they can talk more about their organization, their efforts. This last October, we held a very big event. Dr. Kinnick was one of our esteemed guests, where we presented awards for humanitarians less known to people, individuals who took matters in their own hand. They said, you know what, we're fed up with this. We're going to go ahead and we will go ahead and do something ourselves. We're not going to leave it for an organization or a government or so-and-so to come and help us. We will do it ourselves. Like the Educators Award that we presented to Dr. Sakina, who've been working in Afghanistan for years, have 70,000 women students. We presented them an education award. Like Jerome Jar from France, who asked Turkish Airlines to help people in Somalia when the famine hit the Somalia. So they were able to help. So these are the people that we celebrate. We celebrate humanity. And we believe that every single person in this room and outside could be a world citizen. They can contribute to the betterment of this world. And we want to be able to facilitate that for them as TRT World Citizen. Last year, we ran a signature campaign called Am I Not a Child? This campaign, excuse me, was about missing children, missing refugee children in Europe, namely the Syrians, Iraqis, and Afghans. Over 170,000 children are unaccompanied in Western Europe right now, and nobody knows their whereabouts. 10,000 of them are completely missing, falling under the sexual exploitation, organ harvesters, thieves, and we don't know. We're asking those hard questions. This signature campaign for 1 year, raising awareness and shedding light on this crisis that we are all facing, our world. This year, for 2019, we have introduced a new campaign called Women of War. We want to highlight those strong women who are facing some of the most difficult conflicts around the world, whether it was in Bosnia, whether it is in Rohingya, whether it is in Syria. We see a lot of exploitation of women. Rape has been used as a weapon of war all around the world, and we know this. Unfortunately, it's a very difficult pill to swallow, but we have to raise awareness about this. So this year, our campaign is about Women of War. So please, if you are able to tune in to TRT and other platforms that we have on social media and follow us, so see what we can do, see what you can do. You're all humanitarians here, you're all working, you all have that passion. And the work of humanitarian, its skills is an elective. but passion is required. You must have passion. Otherwise, there's no way we can move forward. So I thank you once again for having me here today for this brief conversation. But I also wanted to give you good news, because we are announcing, to make things a little bit more comprehensive between media and nonprofits and NGOs and relief organizations, we're going to start a crisis map, a live crisis map that we're working on currently at TRT. So where we can all collaborate and come and find preventive ways to some of the world's crises that we see around us. So once again, thank you very much, and I enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for having me.